Welcome everyone. It's Michael Dotterer, and I'm here in Viva Las Vegas with an amazing view. I don't know if you can see the skyline in the background. It's Thursday, and that means there's a lot of football going to be taking place this weekend, starting today, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. So American football probably started yesterday, but for many people out there, Thursday night football, Friday night lights, Saturday college football, and Sunday NFL football. And boy, do we have a great show for you today and tonight and all over the world. I have a very good friend that is joining me on the dot. And this portion of On the Dot is brought to you by Club Nirvana, which is a virtual franchise in California and Arizona. Very unique company run by Virginia and Tom Yerrick. And if you don't know anything about it, you can just see this little link down below. And this is our special guest today. It's Russell Bonilla on the dot. And let me share with you a little bit about Russ. I met Russ, about 10 years ago, a decade ago, through a good friend of mine named Wayne LaRock, and Wayne played football at Stanford. He is a good friend, Stanford alumni, and he said, Mike, because of all your aches and pains and getting hit in the head and all those things during the first third of my life, he said, you need to go see Russ Bonilla. And I said, well, who's Russ? And he says he's a muscular therapist, and he has a company called Clear Choice, and he's right there in San Jose. And I said, okay. And so I connected with Russ, and little did I know, Russ is part of the Raider Nation. And Russ was a football player in his youth. He went to Oregon State, played football there. A great guy. And if you want to feel better because your muscles ache, he's the man. I mean, he is amazing. And so Russell and I work closely together with Club Nirvana. And also this portion of On the Dot is being brought to you by Euphoria Science, 98 Unlimited, and Super Draft Pro, which on Saturday, I'm going to be heading down to Caesars Entertainment here in Las Vegas. And there's a lot of people that love fantasy sports. And Super Draft Pro is, thanks to them, they sponsor this wonderful show that we have. And I also want to say Seymour Putter out of Nashville, Tennessee is a sponsor, and we are an ambassador for Seymour Putter. And we've just joined 22.4 Live Las Vegas. You can go on your Apple iPhone, you can listen to 22.4 Live Vegas and check it out. We're going to be broadcasting from there, from that platform very, very soon. Great people there. A shout out to the commander, to Imani, who started the company. They have 22.4 here in Vegas, and they also have it in Miami. So a great group, and really honored to be part of their broadcast all across the world. So anyway, with that, let me bring on Russ. Again, Russ is amazing. We both are wearing our Las Vegas Rat Pack hats. And Russ, welcome to On the Dot.
Hey man, glad to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Russ. So Russ, tell our audience, they're listening. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. People are listening right now. We got about people right now listening to you right now. Tell us, Russ, a little bit more about your background and where you are today and where you see the future when it comes to health and wellness and also economic opportunities for people, because a lot of people, our economy's changing. And then we could talk about football as well. So take it away, Russ.
Well, I mean, you can't talk about my youth without acknowledging the fact that football was, number one. Like when you grow up, just in my neighborhood, we all were playing flea flicker out in the street. We all learned how to play on the gravel. There was no tackling, but not, at least not on purpose, right? So we all were getting those aches and pains and running into cars trying to catch a ball from somebody who wanted to be the next Joe Montana or Ken Stabler. So, but just growing up, I grew up right here in Sunnyvale, California, and then I moved up to Oregon, where I played football for in high school, at North Medford High. I don't know if anybody knows where that's at, that's listening right now. But man, we had a great squad. I went on to a team that was undefeated until I got there, and we tried to reign supreme all the way until the time we left. So we did really well. Um, I was able to have a chance and opportunity to go to Oregon State, where I got hurt in practice and never really actually played. So, but it was fun to try, right? But we're always trying to figure out what to do with ourselves and how to make money and how to educate ourselves. And, through my life, I've learned that, keeping ourselves, our feet on the ground while we put our head in the clouds, trying to figure out, what our dreams are going to do for us is very important. Stay humble and do things right. And so moving back down here to California with my 4 children at the time, I got 4 daughters, my wife at the time. Now I have 5 children, which my son is my youngest. He's 12-year-old. I love that man. He's my king. And I'm very glad to be able to say that I am a good man that raised, 4 young girls to be smart, educated women. That's nothing small to be looked at. And in doing that, moving down, especially to California, you got to learn how to get your hustle on, and you got to figure out how on paper can you legitimize yourself and what your dream is going to be. And so at that point in time, we were homeless. I was holding a sign out on the freeway and, saying, "Hey, please help. I have children." But looking at that sign, sitting there going, "Hey, man, if I can't help myself, how are these people going to help me? Give me $1 here and there wasn't going to work." 2 days in a row, I tried that and made $26. So at some point, I decided, while I was sitting in my hotel room, I looked at a commercial on TV and it said, "You can do it." And that was for Western Career College. And so what I did is I was like, "Man, what can you do? What is it that they're saying?" I started talking, listening to them. And I found out the very next day that school was right outside of my door of that hotel room that I was trying to stay at with my family, all huddled up into one room, trying to make that money on the, collecting cans and bottles. So I walked in there and I said, "My name is Russell Bonilla and I come from nowhere and I have nothing, but I need to do something. What can you do for me?" Well, about 15 minutes later, they gave me a test, an anatomy exam, which, by the grace of God, I passed and became a massage therapist. And I've been working as a massage therapist, raising my family for the last 16 years. And now I have 5 beautiful grandchildren, that I am blessed to be a part of. So, life is good, man. And once I decided to get in touch and try to work with you and all the things that you do, you have shown me a lot of available ways that we can make money, that you don't have to work so hard. And when I'm doing massage, it's a wonderful thing. And I feel like I'm blessed and that I have a really well groomed understanding as to what that job entails. But it's not going to be able to pay all the bills all the time. Living in the Silicon Valley, we like to call it the Skrilicon Valley, because you got to have a lot of money to make it here. And so your head's got to be wrapped into different things, and you have to be able to, try to make money in different ways. So, as the family got a little bigger, as the family got bigger, but then got older, they started moving out a little bit. It made it a little easier for me to figure out what I can do. And working with Club Nirvana is really showing me there's ways to help people learn about how to take care of themselves with alternative methods of medications and medicines and rubs. And, like right now, I got my premium rub right here from Club Nirvana. I got my fresh tablets right here that just kind of, it's like coffee in the morning. Keeps you just having a good day, keeps a smile on your face, and people love to see the smile, even if you've got one tooth missing in the front. Gives you something else to talk about. But really, honestly, Club Nirvana is where I want to be moving in with in the future. I want to get people to understand and educate them on how much it can help the older athlete that's been in a lot of pain with the use of massage therapy, or just if you're having anxiety. If you know somebody that is dealing with a lot of childhood syndromes, like Dravet syndrome, anything that causes epilepsy, medical marijuana is being made legal to actually help these people. And what is it that we can do to move this along and move the movement, keep it moving, instead of just people being able to smoke weed legally, right? It's got to be more than that. So let's educate people. Let's get people to get past the childhood want to smoke every day type of thing, and learn what else is there. How can we move forward in the future? And with RSO, with the Rick Simpson oil that Club Nirvana is working with, it is it is helping fight the good fight of people with people who have cancer, taking all those medications, working in conjunction with what the doctor is prescribing. Because as a lot of us know who have had to deal with people in our lives that have cancer, it's really hard to go through life trying to just get better, taking pill after pill after pill and putting injections into your belly. These things are making people sick. It's making it almost impossible to eat. If you can't eat, you cannot put nutrition inside of your body. You're not going to help the medicines do you any good. And the medicines, in fact, can do you more harm. And I'm not saying that the medicine itself harms you. It's if you're not helping the medicine work, then you're not doing yourself any favors. And it's proven that our Rick Simpson oil is guaranteed to help with just a little piece, like a little grain of salt or a little grain of rice. You could put that underneath your tongue. It dissolves, and then in about 30 minutes, depending on your nutrition factors that you are and how often you've been taking it, will help you feel like you want to smile. It'll help you want to talk and not be mad at the doctors and nurses for coming in and poking you with things. It will be able to help you move forward and be better. It's not the cure all, but it is the help, the bridge, if you will, to allow the medication to do its job for you so that we can keep moving forward, so we can keep having our grandchildren smile. We can keep having our people come and visit us and smiling at them and saying, "Hey, I'm just glad you're here," instead of, "You know what? Russell doesn't mean to be grumpy, but you know how it is. Ever since he got sick, he has not wanted to have much company. He hasn't wanted to see anybody. He hasn't wanted to talk to anybody." Let's keep that antisocial, antisocial disorder at bay and allow us to be happy to see somebody. Allow somebody to be happy to see us. As we get older, we already get grumpy because of these little kids running around and doing all kinds of things and breaking our stuff. But wouldn't it be nice if we're not any more grumpy than we were just gonna because we were gonna be old, right? Like let's keep the happiness going and let's be happy we have these little kids coming around and calling you grandpa and great grandpa and things to that degree. Let's keep living. Let's keep moving forward. So really, that's what I'm about right now, and I'm just really glad to be here. And thanks, Doc, for having me on.
It's an honor to have you on the dot, Russ. And I just want to say that your story is inspirational. I mean, that movie, what comes to mind is the movie that the famous actor Will Smith did called what was it called?
Happiness.
Yes, The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. That movie hits me right in the heart every time. I mean, we didn't have to stay inside of a bathroom, but there was times where we couldn't afford the hotel that we were staying in, and we had to go out there, and it's basically my father-in-law and I going out there trying to create income. My wife at the time, she was always busy just watching the kids and making sure that the young ones were safe. So it wasn't something that any one of us wanted to be a part of. It wasn't something that we wanted to do, but we didn't know how to get ourselves out of it. And I'm just glad I saw the commercial that I saw when I did, and that I was open to the signal that it was sending me to, hey, look, there's something you can do. You can do it, right? So that's the motto of life, man. You can do it. And man, I really wish I could take the credit on that movie, but
Well, you
it
are
it
doing
was
it.
some thought. Yeah. Thank you. I
You are
appreciate that.
doing it. You are doing it, Russ. And again, I'm just so inspired by you. And there's millions of people out there. I hope that any of you that are listening to this broadcast, please forward this on, because Russ is an inspiration to all of us that are struggling, that have challenges, whether it's at home or it's in your job, or it's you're trying to make your mortgage payment or your car payment, or you're in transition. Um, Russ, you're an inspiration. So I just thank you that Wayne LaRock introduced us. And thank you for also sharing um, your perspective on cannabis and how cannabis is changing, um, how people deal with pain, uh, stress, anxiety, and one of the big things for me is sleep. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever I need to get a great night's sleep, I love the fresh tablets. I love the sleep tincture, and I even vape. I even use the vape product. So it's just cannabis has been amazing. So it's wonderful, and I guess this is a good transition. We've now talked about obviously your business. If anyone wants to know more about Club Nirvana, there's the little the ticker tape below. You can go to russellbonilla.nirvanagoldrush.com, and you can go right there and you can order from them. And if you're in California or Arizona, we deliver directly to your front door or place of business. You just have to show your ID, and it's just a great it's wonderful helping people, Russ. So thank you for that. So let's go ahead and talk about sports. Let's talk about let's first talk about the Pac-12 because you went to Oregon State, I went to Stanford. What's going on in the Pac-12 that you know, Russ?
I honestly don't know a whole lot. I'm gonna be really frank with you. I haven't had an opportunity to pay too much attention to college ball. Saturdays I work a lot, do a lot of massaging on those days, and don't really keep up with anybody that I went to school with. But I'm engulfed with the Raiders. Like it takes so much of me emotionally. When we're up, I'm up. When we're down, I'm down. So I don't know if I can handle it anymore, man. I love being a Raider fan. That being a Raiders fan is like it speaks to us as a nation, in my opinion. There's a lot of us that work really hard, man, and sometimes we're not really getting anywhere. And sometimes we get our opportunities to get up and be a part of the bright lights in the big cities and be up there. And it's a very short-lived experience. And I think that the Raiders are like they speak that. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Like that blue collar steel work type mentality that just never failure is not an option as a Raider fan, as a nation, and never give up is the motto. And who wouldn't want to be a part of that? I mean, as you're one of the running backs that we've had over the years that people got an opportunity to see.
Well, Russ, yeah, I was very fortunate to, as they say, timing is everything. So as many.
Like I don't know if people know that it is because of you. You're one of the reasons why John Elway was up there for a Heisman Trophy, right? I mean, you were the running
Yeah,
back that it would win them games, my friend.
yeah. Well, John, I'll tell you, I was grateful to play with John at Stanford. He truly is a phenomenal athlete, and he's done a great job with the Broncos. He really has.
Oh yeah,
One
excellent.
as not only was not too many players who are great players like John, Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champion. Also, went into management, went into becoming the general manager, and won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. And very few players have ever done that. And so
Yes, sir.
my Las Vegas cap goes off to John. But
Hey,
hey,
we hate that guy, but
it's hard for a Raider to do that for the Broncos. But with John, I cheer for John as long as against the Raiders. It's hard, I can't cheer for John against the Raiders. But obviously, when Denver plays, and just I know we kind of skipped over college, but just want to let you know, Russ, your school, the Oregon State Beavers, are 2-1.
that's right.
2-1, Russ.
Yeah. Yeah, something I wish I could have been a part of, man. Really, is being a part of that team.
No, you were a part.
Yeah.
Russ, you were a part. You know what? You went up there, and that's something just to let everyone know. You know, I was drafted by the Raiders, and I was on injury reserve, and it was hard. I felt back then I felt, gosh, maybe I should have played baseball. But looking back, I was so glad that Mr. Davis drafted me, gave me an opportunity to be on the team, and be part of a Super Bowl team. So even though I saw very little action. Injury reserve, you don't get to be on the field during the regular season. It was a great experience, and I got to practice with the team. I got to play in some preseason games, And no, I was a professional football player. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. And
great.
it took me a long time to understand that. And a lot of my former NFL alumni, they actually helped me 20 years later. So, I didn't like the Super Bowl ring. I didn't wear the Super Bowl ring because I didn't feel, it was like, oh, I didn't, I wasn't, scoring touchdowns like Marcus Allen. But guys said, hey, you know what? You're on the team. You deserve wear the ring. So I wear the ring, and there you have it. So Russ, you're an Oregon State Beaver, coming from a Raider, former Raider alum. You got to own that because you were a Beaver, and so the Beavers are doing well. And our Stanford Cardinal, we play UCLA this weekend. I think we got good momentum. I think Stanford should win that game. Oregon State, I don't know who they play this weekend, and it sounds like to me, Russ, you don't know who they play either.
No. I'm so concerned with Miami, right? Like I'm
Right,
trying to, man,
exactly. Forget about the Beavers. Well, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, let's talk about the Raiders because I love
good.
talking about the Raiders, especially since I got a nice view. I think you might be able to see the stadium from here somewhere. If I could get out the Periscope. But in any event, I'll tell you, I got to take my hat off again to John Gruden because I know it's too early in the game, but I think he picked an outstanding defensive coordinator in Gus Bradley.
Oh yeah, that was like we were looking at. A lot of fans probably are looking for us to pick up a really great player, but we didn't really need a great player. We needed a great coach to be able to coach a good player to be great. And I think Gus brings that out in everybody that he works with all the time, and that's systematically what he's been proving ever since coming into the league with Seattle. I believe Seattle's where he created that Legion of Boom, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he's I think that's a critical component, and kind of reminds me, when Jimmy Johnson had those great teams in Dallas, and on the offensive side they had Norv Turner. Norv
Yeah,
Turner was an outstanding offensive coordinator and was able to coach Troy Aikman and company. Um, I think Gus Bradley on the defensive side, it reminds me of. I think that's how important the defensive coordinator is for the Raiders. And as we know, if the defense can hold the team to few points every game, the Raiders will be in every game. And then it comes down to, and I don't want to put any pressure on Derek Carr, but just manage the game. Don't turn the ball over. That's the key. No turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. If we don't get a first down, just punt it away, but just manage the game, and we will eventually score. I mean,
yeah,
there's no doubt about it. So you know, I think we got a really good shot of making a serious run in the playoffs. And I'll tell you, could you imagine the Raiders in the Super Bowl this year
oh,
in Los Angeles? And they're
wow.
going from the Allegiant Stadium, which is a new stadium, to the new stadium in Los Angeles. That would be a dream come true.
And that's home turf, right?
That's yeah, right.
That's home turf. There will be none but Raider fans in there.
Oh yeah, and what I'm hoping for, Russ? I'd like to see the Rams versus the Raiders.
Oh man, wouldn't that be something?
That would be Southern Nevada and Southern California. That would be a difficult ticket to get, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yes, it would. They'd be selling, sitting up on top of the roof. People holding mirrors trying to see them.
Well, oh, so
Man,
any other predictions about the NFL? Any other teams you like out there, Russ?
oh man, let's see. There are good teams. It's just kind of like I would like to see what Philadelphia does. Not that I really root for them, but it's kind of interesting. What about Minnesota? Minnesota, they always have, like, they're almost always there. They really. I would like to see them get to another Super Bowl and do something. They always get
I
shortchanged where the other.
No, I really would. I mean, my former coach, he coached me at Stanford, Denny Green. He took the last time the Vikings made a serious run. I think it was Denny Green, wasn't it?
You know what? No, actually, it was what I think about. Man, I think if I'm not mistaken, they lost the game to Atlanta in the playoff in the conference finals. and that's what sent Atlanta to the Super Bowl.
No, you're right. And what was the game where it was against the bad call against the New Orleans Saints? It was a bad, wasn't that against the Vikings?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh man,
Yeah, no, they've had some. Yeah,
I remember
no, the
that.
Vikings, the Vikings have had some tough luck, and I remember. So you have to understand, Russ, that was my team, the Vikings, when I moved to Edina, Minnesota back in 1965, and they called themselves the Purple People Eaters.
That's right.
And my favorite color back then, and it still is purple.
Yeah,
Other than silver and black, uh, I love the purple. And the Purple People Eaters, they had Carl Eller and Alan Page and Larson, and their quarterback. They had a quarterback named Joe Kapp, who, later he would be the head coach at Cal when I was at Stanford. In that crazy play, Joe Kapp was the coach at Cal.
that's
So
right.
I have fond memories. And then they had a great quarterback in Fran Tarkenton. And the Vikings went to four Super Bowls, and they lost all four.
Yeah,
So they're very similar to the Buffalo Bills.
that's
And what do you
right.
think of the Buffalo? What are your thoughts about the Bills making a Super Bowl run?
They should be able to make it. As long as they stay healthy and the offensive line protects their quarterback, they should be able to take it. But I don't want to see it. I would like to see Buffalo versus the Raiders. In the AFC, a title game.
And obviously the Raiders playing at Allegiant Stadium,
Yeah.
playing the Bills at Allegiant, right?
Oh, you know what, man? Even seeing it, like that, all that snow. Like I don't really want to see the Raiders playing snow. We all shown that we cannot do that very well. It,
And we don't want any tuck rules. No
no,
more tuck rules.
no more tuck rules, man. Like no more little Brady rules. Like we don't need that guy. We don't need to make another quarterback a whole like shelf of titles. We don't want to do that.
Right.
But that's
Right.
and talking about like Gus Bradley, like he's not going to let that happen. That he's a
Yeah.
beast. And if you look at what the Raiders did with Al, even back then, right? Al Davis is the one that put that team together. He liked working with veteran players. Everybody on that team was like older than 34, except for Woodson, and then Woodson brought that youth right to Brady, and he couldn't handle it, obviously. But man, I'll tell you what, man, like if we keep doing what we're doing and we stay healthy and we get these defensive backs to be able to not just hit people and tackle them, especially Abrams, as long as Abrams can wrap his arm around these people and tackle them, he's going to be better than Ronnie Lott ever was.
Yeah, it's exciting. There's so many great possibilities that I'm really excited to watch as the Raiders move into the season. And again, we're going to be at Caesars on Saturday night, and it's a big Raider Nation party. We'll be out there. I'm going to try to get some Super Bowl pictures. So if you get out there, I'll sign some Super Bowl pictures for you.
Yeah, everybody get out there and see Dot, man. Dot is a good man to just talk to, be with, have experience with. Buy him a drink for me. If I'm not there, buy you a drink.
Russell, when are you coming, Russ, to Las Vegas? When are you coming down?
I've been talking about going out there for a golf tournament in, I believe, November 13th.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. We've got a Raider Nation golf tournament November 13th. Do you know what? Tell the audience what you know about that tournament, Russ.
Well, it's what I do know for sure is there's going to be a lot of Raiders there. And once you're a Raider, you're always a Raider. So I'm not going to say ex-Raiders or old Raiders. They're Raiders. That's our history. That's our bloodline. You come through there. It's going to be a celebrity golf tournament that's going to be raising money for, I'm not sure of the cause exactly yet. I haven't worked out all those details, so I don't want to misspeak on anything. But I do know that it'll be a great event, and I know it's going to turn out to be helpful for a lot of people that need it. The last event that I did was a golf tournament sponsored by Club Nirvana that helped domestic violence. People who have been subjected to domestic violence, helped that cause.
Yeah, we're good. We've got a great. These golf tournaments. There's a Walter Payton golf tournament in October, and I'm gonna get a good friend of mine, Lester, on hopefully on the dot soon to talk about Walter Payton's golf tournament in October here in Las Vegas, and then we've got the Raider Nation golf tournament November 13th. Mark that down on your calendar, and then And then hopefully our record by that time will be what, 7, 8, maybe 8, 9-0 or something like that, Russell?
Let's see. I would say I think I only see a one potential game we could lose between now and then, and that might be Kansas City. Or unless the Raiders get a big head on their shoulders, they might lose to somebody that we really don't need them to lose to, which is sometimes what they do. So we need to make sure that those guys stay in line. So when you see these Raiders at this golf tournament, everybody, you let them know. You look at them dead square in their eyes and say, "Focus, focus."
Focus. Well, Russ, you get the last word because on the dot you always get it's Russ Bonilla on the dot. You get the last word. So you want to share any last minute thoughts about NFL or Club Nirvana or anything that's on your top of mind?
Man, I'll tell you. Number one, none of us are above anybody else. We all need to see each other for who we are. We need to understand everybody out here is somebody important. If not to you, they're important to somebody. Respect everybody for who they are and what they're about. If you would like to know more about Club Nirvana, you're more than welcome to go on my website, which you see being scrolled down there at the bottom. I would really appreciate you guys just coming on there just to gain a little bit of information and understanding more about it. If you want to know about Clear Choice Muscular Therapy, you can go to Clear Choice Muscular Therapy on Facebook, and there's a couple presentations that I have on there. I should probably be doing more, but for right now, that's what's there. And everybody just keep moving forward. Keep doing the best you can. Don't give in to these, to the way the world is pushing everybody to be. Don't be alone and don't stand by yourself. We all need somebody. So make sure your people, that they are there for you and that you are there for them. Let it be known. Have lunch with a friend. When you see somebody down the street and you walking by somebody, don't look down in a way, say hello. We all are somebody and we're all somebody to somebody else, man. Treat each other right. And that's really all I got to say, man. So thanks, Dot, for having me on the show.
Well, it's an honor, Russ, to have you on. You're an inspiration to millions of people. Hopefully, those that are listening will be inspired. And if you have someone that's struggling, I know that if they hear Russell's story, his message, it's inspirational. And hopefully, if they love American football, they'll enjoy our discussion about the Raiders and
Oh yeah,
and Oregon State and Stanford too. So
oh yeah,
Russ,
all right, peace out, man. Thank you.
No, hey, thank you, Russ, and it's an honor. Again, this portion of On the Dot has been brought to you by Club Nirvana, Euphoria Science, 98 Unlimited, and Super Draft Pro, which we're going to do an event on Saturday here at Caesars Entertainment, and hopefully a lot of the Raider Nation will come out this weekend here in Las Vegas. Thanks, Russ. Don't hang up. I'm just going to end the broadcast. Wishing everyone a wonderful Thursday and a great weekend as well.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.